Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome here on a nice sunny day. My name's Ian Room, and I'm the leader of North Devon Council. And I will explain the format of the event and then hand over to Phil Wright from Gatherwell, who will explain how the lottery will work. So thank you all for attending this good cause launch event and for showing an interest in being part of the North Devon Community Lottery. Great to see so many local good causes attending the event today and taking the time to join us. We're all very excited about the lottery and to be at this stage of launching the North Devon Community Lottery. So from visiting this earlier last year to the Local Government Association conference, national conference, where all the councils get together and share good practice. These chaps had a stall there, and I just found it quite interesting because there's a lot of charities, smaller charities as well, who wouldn't have time to set up this sort of thing on their own. But it gives you a good idea and gives you the opportunity to raise some funds, which Phil will explain shortly. I'd like to thank the officers of Bev Triggs and the member services at North Devon Council for organising this event, and North Devon Voluntary Services input as well to ensure that the event is successful. They have provided a lot of support for the event of North Devon Voluntary Services. So this meeting is being recorded, so I hope you've all got your best faces on. This little device here records it because there's a lot of people who could not attend.
Crowd, it's just pointed at.
It's only pointing over here, not here. But it basically the recording is for people who could not attend today, and they can watch this back on a recording that they can see what the event's all about. So following the presentation from Phil, there will be an opportunity for you all to ask questions if you've got any. Gatherwell are the external lottery management company who North Devon Council have partnered with to deliver it. And Gatherwell are supporting many other organisations throughout the country, and they run successful community lotteries. Some of the ones nearest to us is Exeter City Council and North Somerset are examples of people here in the West Country. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over now to Phil Wright from Gatherwell, who will explain how it will work and how you can all become part of this magnificent lottery. So Phil,
getting excited, right? Good afternoon. Well, actually, I'm going to put that charger back in just in case it goes to sleep. That's going to be one of those. So bear with me just 2 seconds. Sorry. Thanks ever so much for the introduction. And firstly, thank you all for coming. You know, these events get put on, and we've run 1 or 2 of these before, sort of throughout the country. And actually, this week's been a bit of a busy one for us. We had one launching in Harlow in Essex yesterday, one in Birmingham last week, and one up in Penrith. So quite literally dotted all over the country. But unless people turn up, unless the organisations come along to find out about it, there's no point in the councils and no point in us doing these sorts of things. So my name's Phil Wright. I'm the general manager of Gatherwell, and just as Councillor Root said, I am Gatherwell are the external lottery manager behind the scenes. Hopefully you'll never need to know who we are and what we do. You'll just be interacting and taking part in North Devon Community Lottery. And so today's sort of to answer all your questions. We'll probably leave them to the end, because normally how it works is we get a question. It's a very, very valid question, but we're just about to come onto it in the next piece there. So we'll answer all questions at the end. And also, if you have a question and you think, well, I don't know if it's a bit of a silly one, because I think something was said about it, but it's all a bit technical, I didn't really quite understand it, just ask the question, because someone next to you is going to be thinking, yeah, I thought the same thing, but I just didn't have the courage to put my hand up. So thanks ever so much for North Devon Council for setting this up. I'm not just saying this because they're in the room, but this was one of the easiest and quickest in terms of the timeline of launching one of these community lotteries. From the moment in terms of meeting through to actually getting to this point, things were actually done and things were done on time, and they've been a great team to work with. And I would love to say that about absolutely everyone, but they have been brilliant. So credit to North Devon Council for the work they've done so far. And now the next part of it is for you guys to take part in. And the whole point of this community lottery is for you guys to fundraise. And depending on the size of your organisation, we'll have not-for-profits, we'll have community interest companies, we'll have small constituted groups, all the way up to more established charities. And some may have done this sort of thing before in terms of fundraising lotteries, but this is something that maybe a little bit cliche, sort of democratises that fundraising channel for all of you as different organisations in the local area. So, without a preamble, this is what we're going to be running through. So, North Devon Community Lottery, it's an initiative through North Devon Council, but it's powered and it's behind the scenes our Gatherwell. And we've run about 140 of these community lotteries throughout the UK. So, ask the questions because hopefully we'll be able to answer them because we've done this once or twice before. And the whole point of this lottery is to be set up and to raise money. But also by making it a community lottery and having all of you as local organisations on it, there's a connection between the person playing and where that money goes. There's, it's local money going back to local organisations. And that can, again, some of these sorts of things might sound a bit cliche, but it's the equivalent of walking out of Tesco's or Waitrose and you got a little blue coin. It's choosing, right, this is where I want my support to go. But also for those players, they've got a chance to win something as well. So there's that value transaction between you as the organisation that they can help to fundraise, but also the whole point is it's a lottery. I hope you don't have to explain that part to it. Someone's got some chance to win some prizes, but also done in an ethical and a responsible manner. So the prize structure is set up so it's interesting, it's intriguing, it's encouraging, but also the majority of the money goes back to good causes through the money raised. And so what we'll cover today, so how it will work for supporters, because without anyone playing, we don't have a lottery, we don't have any money raised. So how it will work for supporters. And you guys here have got probably various different hats as local residents, potential players, members of boards, trustees, volunteers, whatever you might be, then you'll probably be thinking about it in different ways. But we'll kick off with how it works for supporters. The splitting of the pound. So where does the money go? And in some lotteries, you're going to have to dig through small print and you have to find out, well, actually, where does the money go and what actually is returned to good causes. We'll go and run through this and it's quite prevalent and clear on the website. What the prizes are, big part, how it works for you as good causes. So we always refer to good causes because you'll probably hear as a myriad of different structures in the third sector. What support you'll get when you come onto and when you join the lottery. And also we'll ask for a bit of a commitment. We'll end with a little bit of a challenge to get this started and without a bit of encouragement, a bit of drive and a bit of a push from you guys into the local audience. That's what we're here today to kind of run through and get the most out of. I also talk quite quickly, and I heard someone the other day who also did the same thing, said apologies for talking quickly, I sound like I'm running for a train. So apologies if it's quite quick, but do ask questions as we go to make sure you're clear on how it all works. Right, how it works for supporters. So, northdevonCommunityLottery.co.uk is live. And I'm going to flip through these just because I haven't got a clicker. So northdevonCommunityLottery.co.uk is live. So if you take out your phones, don't have to, but if you did, you went on that website, it will be live for you as good causes now. Well, it's open to the general public, but for you as good causes to go and register. But the lottery site and the lottery itself, draws take place weekly. They take place at 8 o'clock on a Saturday, because it seems like quite a reasonably common occurrence for lotteries to happen on Saturday evening at 8 o'clock. And like a normal lottery, the more numbers you match, the bigger the prizes you win. The way that it works is tickets cost £1. And lotteries have changed their pricing and different structures and different games and things like that. But we think it's important to have a £1 ticket because for some people, they just want to have a small contribution and we don't want to, for people to have to pay too much if they don't want to. But averagely, people buy just shy of 2 tickets. So they want to support a little bit more. They want an added chance to win some prizes as well. When people choose when people buy their ticket, they choose their numbers, either a lucky dip or they can choose their own numbers. The numbers are between, slightly different to National Lottery and things, the numbers are between 0 and 9, and you choose those 6 numbers sort of sequentially, and it's about in order, which will come onto the prize in a second. Don't get too worried about sort of numbers, you just pick 6 numbers and it does it through the platform. Importantly though, when someone buys a ticket, they choose who they want to support. And I'll explain how that works, because it's not as complicated as you might think of searching for organisations. But at the point of purchase, like when you walk out of the supermarket and put it in, that is the point in which you choose, right, I want to support disability charity, I want to support the food bank and allotments, whatever it might be, whoever it is that you want to take a part in. And there's an easy way for you to build your supporters, which I'll come on to this in a second. And the payments are generally done on a recurring basis. So people sign up via direct debit or recurring card payment. And the idea, as I'm sure all of you will be involved with fundraising, is that recurring revenue, that forecastable, predictable recurring revenue. And that's where majority of people, about 97% of all players, sign up on a recurring basis. So week in, week out, or you actually get paid monthly, but that money is coming in and you can bank on it, and you can forecast it as part of your accounting there. Or people can buy, if they don't want to sign up in that way, because sometimes people won't want that commitment, they can buy 1 month or 5 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months worth of one-off, so on a debit card. And that's important, I should have mentioned as well. It's only on debit or direct debit. There's no facility to buy on credit or anything like that. So it's only those cleared funds that be able to purchase the ticket. And there's also no cash involved either. You don't want to be handling cash. We don't want to be handling cash. But also, we don't want the type of person that is only dealing in that sort of cash payment, that we want to make sure that that's all done correctly as part of that there. And then winning. Once someone wins, you get a little email that says, congratulations, you've won a prize, come and claim it. And the reason why we don't just pay winners directly into their bank account is we ask them a little bit of, it's a straight up question, but there's also a secondary question behind it of, do you want to claim your winnings? Because actually at that point, they've got the choice to claim their winnings or donate it back to you as the good cause. And we've got, it varies on certain different lotteries that we run, but around about 20% of all winners donate it back to good causes. We actually had a jackpot winner of £25,000 donate it back to a theatre group just after COVID. So, quite a big impact that for an organisation. But often it tends to be some of the smaller donations. But anyway, that money also comes back to you if someone chooses. And the main motivating factor of people playing these community lotteries is I'm supporting a good cause, and the secondary is, and I've got a chance of winning. That's secondary thought there. And if I don't win, okay, that's fine. I know where my money's going to. That's the typical type of behaviour that people choose when they're doing lotteries. And then where does the money go? So 60p in every pound, that goes back to what's classed as good causes. Under Gambling Commission rules, in the Gambling Act, a minimum of 20% has to go back to good causes. And the likes of Health, Postcode, National, they're all around late 20s, early 30s in terms of return to cause. The money goes back to cause. This 60p goes back to what's classed as good causes. And the way that's split is, you might not be able to see just there, but the way that's split is 50p of every pound goes back to the cause that the player chooses. So essentially you guys, or other causes that aren't here. 10p then goes into North Devon's community fund. And we're just having a conversation there because I just wanted to confirm it. That then will be then spent, because we don't know exactly what that community fund is going to be. Is that going to be £5,000? Is that going to be £50,000? But that will then be spent back into the community in one way or another. So that's where that other 10p goes. There's also some running costs, some licensing costs, a bit of marketing costs and things like that go in there. But that is where that 60p goes. So for every ticket is purchased, 50p goes back to you as an individual. And sometimes people say, well, I'd rather have the whole pound. Well, yeah, so would I. But you might have your regular givers. And at times, economic times we find ourselves in at the moment, regular giving and things where you've got a direct debit like that, sometimes people say, actually, I might stop that. I might not give as I once did. Where there's something in return here, they've got a chance for winning. That's where there's that different value transaction, as I mentioned before, where they get something by supporting with you. So yeah, you might have regular giving, and that's brilliant. Keep doing it. Have all your different sort of channels of income generation. This is an additional channel, which also potentially appeals to a different type of person. Someone that is more price focused, or someone that is altruistic, I support the community, but I don't give, but I know it's a good idea. It just encourages them because there's something for them, then to take part in that. So that's where that 60p goes there. 18.2 pence covers all the prizes. There's no risk to you or the council to cover any of the prizes, and we'll come on to that in a second. 18.2% covers all of the running and operational costs. So that big chunk of that is things like sort of banking costs, all the support, the maintenance, and everything else that goes with the fees of running the lotteries. And then 3.6% is VAT, because there's no VAT on lottery tickets, but there is VAT on service that operates lotteries. So just to provide some clarity there, because if anyone's got an eagle-eyed accountant, sorry, that's where that money goes. And prizes. So the way the prizes work is if you match 6 numbers, and it must be 6 numbers in order, you win £25,000. If 2 of you match 6 numbers, you both win £25,000. If 3 of you, there is a cap at 5, but we can have up to 5 jackpot winners every week on that. But if you match 6 numbers in a row in the right order, then you win £25,000. There's a little asterisk there next to the £25,000, and normally when you see that in small print, it's like, okay, what's the get out of jail ticket here? What that basically says is we have specialist prize cover that covers the big jackpot prizes. So there's no risk to, let's say, you guys as organisations, the council, because we've had a number of jackpot winners on first draws, and depending on the number of tickets, obviously that number of tickets is not going to equate to that 18.2%, is not going to equate to 25,000. So that's where that money comes from. And the smaller, the lower prizes there, then we kind of manage as part of the other cash prizes. And because it's odds based over a period of time, the prizes, well, idea is that they match, they even themselves out there in terms of how that's paid for. If you match 5 numbers at the start of the order or at the end, it's £2,000. 4 numbers at the start or the end, £250. As you see there, it drops down to if you match the first 2 numbers or the last 2 numbers, you get 3 free tickets. Those 3 free tickets get entered automatically into next week's draw. So you don't have to do anything with those if you win them, but they get entered automatically, so it increases your chances to win. So yeah, that's the prize structure. And as I say, we've built a prize structure that most of you, and I don't know all the organisations here, you may or may not be able to offer. You might do a raffle, you might do a fundraiser, but possibly not be able to have that kind of headline of play, support us with a chance to win quite a significant prize. You know, it's not necessarily retirement and yachts and private islands kind of sort of money, but it is quite a nice. I think we'd all quite appreciate. I'd quite like that as an amount of money. But it means that we can give that majority of that back to you as good causes in terms of fundraising. And then we also have throughout the year additional super draw prizes. And so these are sometimes cash, but often non-cash prizes that are added on top of sort of monthly draws. And individuals can buy extra tickets into those individual monthly draws if they want to. And what that does is, for you as organisations, once someone's signed up, it's a weekly draw every week for 52 weeks. It's kind of the same message, thanks for playing, this is what we're doing with the money, play the lottery. Whereas having these additional super draws gives you a chance to say, look, if you haven't decided to join yet, there is an additional prize at the end of the month. This is the prize, take part. Or, thank you for supporting us, thank you for playing. There's an additional prize that you're already entered into. So it gives you a bit of an extra message, a different message, just to share. And we'll come on to sort of the promotion and marketing in a second, but it's just different prizes throughout the period. And we're also looking to add an extra prize for the first draw as well. And we'll come on to that sort of information in a little bit there. And also sort of throughout the year. So we'll look at different. So Christmas, we did a big £3,000 cash draw as a super draw, because funny enough, that went down quite well. January, when we did a little bit of research, it didn't take too long, is the busiest month for people booking holidays. So we're looking at sort of travel and other associated there. Coming up to previous Christmas and things, we've done big PlayStation bundles and things like that. So looking at things seasonal throughout the year that are just different to those weekly cash prizes, and you'll get information about those, which we'll come on to. Right, and this is sort of the reason why you're here, I hope, is all around how does it work for you as good causes. So as we said, northdevonCommunityLottery.co.uk is now live, and that is live for you to go and apply to be a part of. You can't buy a ticket yet, but it's live for you on the website. It's got play at the top. Next to it says, "Are you a good cause?" That's the bit you just need to click there. I mean, the link will be sent out. I'm sure if they haven't been sent out already to you, just to take you straight there. You go on and you apply. You set up just with your email address, set up a and then you don't. It's not a grant application. We don't need your full inside leg measurement or anything like that. We just want to know who you are and what you do. Are you based locally? It's just to make sure that we've only got causes that are eligible, and the eligibility criteria is also on the site. It may well, because I've actually not seen. I'm not sure if it's in the FAQs, but it's on the site anyway. But I'm pretty sure as you're all here, I'd hope you will be eligible to join as part of it. So you sign up and you register your organisation if you can, and if you've got a logo, please upload it at the same time. So you can upload it in different formats. Just snip it and copy and paste it in. Just because that will create, you will have your own page on the website. So we will create it for you. You don't actually have to do anything technical, but once you upload your logo, upload who you are, it's also got a bit of a chance for you to tell what you're raising money for. It's a little bit like a Just Giving page in that kind of way. Shout about who you are, what you do, what difference it's going to make. You can also then just set yourself a ticket target, which you can change. You can also log in and change that information that you originally uploaded as well, if you would like to. And there's a few details, it's not too onerous. Click submit. Actually, that's another thing. If you stop the process halfway through, don't start a process. Well, you can do actually if you like, but you can just log back in and carry on that process rather than recreating a new profile. Don't worry too much, actually, I don't want to bother with that. But it's just log in, click apply. And then you'll go into sort of in the nicest term, sort of a holding pen, in which a member of the team from the council will say, "Yeah, we know who you are. They can go live." What that stops is organisations that don't meet the eligibility criteria, or individuals or private organisations signing up when they're not eligible. All the eligibility criteria things is on there. Once you've applied, you'll get approved. If they need any extra information, they'll email you for it to get that. But hopefully, majority of that will be done here. And then it's a chance. Once you're on the platform, you have your own page. Start shouting about it. And you don't have to be a marketing whiz. You don't have to be a communications expert. You don't have to be too super technical. We'll try and make it as easy as possible. But unless people know you're on the lottery, likelihood is they're not going to find you to buy a ticket. So shout about it, and we'll come on to this in a second. And then every month, based on the tickets sold in the previous month, you'll get a payment into your nominated bank account. So you'll know, you can log in, you can view it, and I won't repeat what we'll just come on to in a second, but you'll be able to forecast and budget and say, look, we've got 20 supporters buying averagely 2 tickets, or just shy of. It's 40 tickets a week. It's £20, so £20 of that per week is coming back. It's a 4-week month. Okay, we're getting £80 in this month. Over the year, this is what we know it's roughly going to be. If we do a bit of a push, we might get more supporters, you get more money. If then supporters drop off, then you can do a little bit more of a push as well. So it's really, really simple. And we'll explain how to kind of use some of the marketing and some of the dashboard on the website. But please make use of it, because that'll help you drive ticket sales and raise money. And also, yeah, I shouldn't miss that, is there's no cost. There's no cost for you to sign up. If you don't sign up straight away, you can sign up at a later date, but we can only launch the lottery once. So something about being in it from the start, that's a real positive there. And you can be raising money once we go live to tickets, you're raising money within sort of a couple of days there. Once you've signed up, there's no re-registration or anything like that. It just sort of flows from week to week, from year to year. This is just a mock page that's sort of set up. It's the central fund with the image of the cat there would be where your logo would be. The ticket target there along the middle, you set that for how many tickets you want to sell. Your job and your part is shout about it to the community. Once they get to the platform, it's our job to make sure they buy a ticket, they register their details, and they keep fundraising. So all of the information about people's tickets, last draws, next draws, buy tickets, all that sort of side of things, that's all been built within the website. We're a technology business, That's our responsibility to make sure we convert those from the hard work that you've done to get people onto the site there. There's also a big thing around sharing, sharing to Facebook, sharing to Twitter, sharing to WhatsApp groups, sharing into Facebook groups, sharing to try and make it as easy as possible for people to then go and buy a ticket from your page there. And this is an example of some marketing materials that you'll get. So it will have your logo on there. It's got your sort of how the lottery works. It's also got a QR code, so if you've got a venue and you want to put it up on a notice board, people can scan it. If you're an event, rather than printing off loads and loads of leaflets, you can just get people to scan on their phone, can purchase a ticket directly through their phone there. But this is just an example of some materials that will be constantly updated and regularly updated for you that you can download and use. And we'll explain it just in a brief video here about using the lottery dashboard.
So you've signed up as a good cause. Now, what do you need to do? Well, you need to let people know about it so they sign up and support your cause. We do all of the boring hard stuff for you, and we even give you tools to promote it, but you need to use them to spread the word. Start shouting from the rooftops and let as many people know as possible. Remember, the more people who know about your lottery page, the more supporters you will get and the more money you will raise. The sky's the limit. Never stop recruiting supporters. Not only do you scoop 50p from every ticket they buy, but they also help spread the word for you. And because people sign up as long-term supporters, you raise 50p from their tickets every week. And it all soon starts adding up. But it won't happen on its own. All you need to do is keep spreading the word. As a good cause, you get your own dashboard, which helps you keep track of how your lottery fund is performing. Download marketing leaflets or even customize them to say what you need to. When you first log into your dashboard, the name of your dashboard will be across the top, along with any immediate actions for you to do. You'll also see a chart to show how your tickets are growing. If you click on the supporters button, this will take you to a page where you can see all the details of the people that are supporting your cause. You can use the supporters details to thank supporters or provide updates on how their support is helping. The leaflet button is probably the most important button on your dashboard. Here you will find lots of leaflets that we created specially for your cause. You will find both printable and digital versions with your own logo on. What's more, they're specially tailored for you as they send people straight to your page where they buy tickets for your cause. All you need to do is make sure you use these leaflets to spread the word and watch your funds grow. So, print off as many printable versions and hand them out to as many people as you can. People can even scan the QR code that we put on there for you, which takes their device straight to your page, so they don't need to search for you when they visit the lottery site. Download the digital leaflet and email it to as many people as you know. Your digital leaflets contain a special button, which directs them straight to your page, where it only takes a minute to sign up and start raising money for you. What's more, you can even change the text on all of these leaflets using the Customize button, so you can create your own version with a special message, like what the money you raise will be used for. A new leaflet design is available every few months, so you can keep the advertising materials for your lottery page fresh. So remember, your dashboard is your most important tool and provides you with everything you need to enroll your own supporters. We do all of the hard work for you, so all you need to do is shout about your page, spread the word, and watch the money you are raising grow.
So hopefully that sort of shows how the dashboard works and how the site works. There's sort of, in the design there, that's not exactly how it all looks. And we're not going to be sort of dragging people up mountains when you buy a ticket. But it just sort of explains sort of various different ways. And there's quite a lot of reference in there around sort of download, login. It's very, very easy to do. And the whole point is we know, lots of people won't necessarily be marketing experts, but we want to make sure you've got the tools to make it as easy as possible to promote it and shout about it. But also, if you need any help or support, and we'll come on to it, there's a phone line and email address as well, if you just want to ask any queries. So if you get stuck or anything, then give the phone line a call and we're able to provide sort of that support, kind of making sure you've got access to all of those different things there. So a little bit about it. So that's sort of the actual lottery itself, a bit sort of about behind the scenes. So the website itself is bespoke. It's got the look and the feel of North Devon, but it's powered under the hood by the Gatherwell engine for our lottery technology there. It's regularly updated. So normally on a Monday evening is when we sort of take it offline, and you'll maybe have a few minutes of downtime when we'll do sort of updates, because funny enough, there's not that many people on the sites at sort of midnight on a Monday evening. But our developers love staying up that late to do the updates. It's fully secure and PCI compliant. So in terms of taking card payments, you've got the payments requirements, and it's fully accessible as well. Like you will see with public facing, so council websites or public facing websites, it meets the accessibility criteria of a public facing website or public service website, I should say there. It's 99.7% uptime, and it is monitored 24/7. So if it does go down, we'll be able to monitor it and make sure we get it back up again. And it's a responsive website, so it's actually optimized. So about just over 75% of all people access it on mobile tablets rather than actually on PCs. So it's optimized to register, to download, to use the things from your phone or from a tablet. But also you can sit and monitor and access it in that way. But that's where you find most people are accessing it there. And support for you as causes and also players is you've got a dedicated phone line there. So when you ring through, or when your players ring through, it will be answered as North Devon Community Lottery. We know who's calling from there. And that's where, if you need to call, or also if you've got supporters, players that don't want to register, don't want to do things online, they can also ring that number to buy a ticket as well. But that's support for both players and for you for causes there. Dedicated email address, so you'll get emails from us at support@North Devon Community Lottery. So if you're here from an organisation that might have lottery banned in your email, then please ask your administrator to change that whitelisting, because quite often, funnily enough, because it's part of gambling, although it's probably quite a different type of gambling, I suggest, sometimes that's blocked. So you might need just to do that if you've got something corporately through your email there. And then you'll get sort of updates across sort of Facebook and things on the lottery Facebook pages there that you can then share as organisations as well. So what's the role of NDC? So they hold the Gambling Commission licence. It's a licensed lottery, and the requirements are they've got a licence through the Gambling Commission. They'll be responsible as part of getting you all here with in partnerships of NDVS, of getting the message out to causes in the North Devon area, and then also sort of championing it through the local population as well. But as you can imagine, comms that come out from the council will probably be viewed in a slightly different way about buying a ticket and supporting calls than it will be coming from you. You know, if you think about the kind of comms that go there, if you shout about it, say, look, buy a ticket, support us, as a local resident, it will probably resonate slightly differently. So really shout about it and champion it, but the council are also there to do some comms as well to get it out to the wider population. And they will approve and have the overall scheme administration for the lottery there. Just a few examples. So we launched Vale. It was Aylesbury Vale District Council back in 2015. They were the first local authority to launch a community lottery. They signed up with about 40 causes, so probably half-ish what we've got in the room here. And they've got about 350 causes. They've raised, well, it's actually more than that now, it's closer to £1 million for good causes over that time period. Obviously, it depends on population, number of causes, that kind of thing that goes into it, but it does grow over time and it's constantly growing. And we asked some of their organisations, look, you're on the lottery, what did you do to sell some tickets? And then also, what's the impact? What's the outcome of what those tickets are doing? So Great Brick Hill Cricket Club, they've got 52 tickets, raising just shy of £1,400 a year, probably more than that, 16,500 that they've got since joining. They've got a clubhouse, and not most people won't have that, but they offered a free drink for anyone that was one of their lottery supporters. And that sounds quite an expensive incentive, a free drink. But actually, when people tend to buy just shy of 2 tickets a week, every week, and they stay for years, then it's not a bad little incentive there. But obviously, I completely appreciate you're not going to invite everyone to a bar to buy a ticket if you don't have those kind of facilities there. But this was feedback that they did there. And what they used their money for was investing back into the junior coaching within the cricket club. Carers Bucks, independent care charity, what did they do? They added the lottery link to their email signature. So for those people working, having emails going in and out of the organisation, at the bottom it says support us, play the Bucks Lottery, but play the North Devon Community Lottery, and you're doing a bit of marketing with every bit of comms that goes in and out of your organisation there. Real Sports and Social Club, sort of round a village green, kind of sort of traditional sort of sports and club there. They printed off the leaflets, and because most of their users are in the local area, it was a case of doing a bit of a leaflet drop in the local area there. They didn't have QR codes at this point, but when we added QR codes, then it means that someone doesn't have, all they have to do is scan it on their phone if they want to, or just log on to buy tickets. Ooh. Anyway, right, so our commitment here as part of the launch, and that's both through Gatherwell and through North Devon Council, is you get, when you sign up, your own dedicated webpage. So it'll all be built for you. You don't have to do anything. That will be built for you when you register. You'll get your own bespoke marketing materials. So each one of that Facebook version, printable version, emailable version will have your logo. It will also have embedded links. So when someone clicks on it, it won't take them just to the homepage where they've got to find you. It will take you to your dedicated page on the website. So the more marketing you do, the more people are going to land on your page to buy a ticket. The dashboard, so you can see who's supporting you. You can download a list of your supporters. It's all GDPR compliant as part of that. You can thank them. You can communicate with them there. You'll get a welcome pack, and you also get weekly updates, emails about how it's going. But also, more importantly, or the most important part, is 50p of every pound gets paid into your bank account on the first week of the month for the tickets sold in the prior month there. So that's our commitment and what you get for joining the community lottery. And then we said there's a bit of a commitment. So your challenge is, and we'll come through the dates in a second, there's something about people being in from the start. Once you've had that first draw, there's sort of less of an impetus. There's less of a, there's more of a sense of missing out if people don't get in from the start. So we see when lotteries launch well and the starter lotteries, it's far easier to do that promotion at the start than it is once it's ongoing. Absolutely, you can continue doing that. We're not saying don't, but it is, the time is to get behind it, is really back it right at the start to get those players and supporters on board. So the challenge is to sell 20 tickets within the first, by the time the first draw happens, and we'll come to the dates in a second. That 20 tickets is between about 10 and 12 people on average. So not the biggest marketing effort, but it is, depending on the size of your organisation, a push there. But give it a try if you can. We also ask, please, when you register, use an email address that someone might check. Because when we have additional prizes, if something happens and you close a bank account and we say we've got some money here for you, but we can't get hold of you to tell you about it, then please, or if someone leaves and you've got a different administrator, please tell us, or please update those details. So then you actually find out how it is, because no point in doing all these additional draws. There's no point in doing, developing the sites thing if you're not knowing about it or people aren't picking it up there. Use your dashboard, as we said, to help promote it and ultimately help us help you. A bit cliche there again, but the whole point is it's for you to fundraise there and also spread the word. I mean, most people, you good, kind, altruistic people that are involved in the sector, they probably have a couple of different hats. Or you know other people that have a couple of different hats, and you think, well, yeah, I'm here, but so and so that organises this isn't, but they could also be eligible. It might be your kid's got a sports team or something like that you think, or school or PTA, whatever. Then please do share it, because just because they're not here doesn't mean that they can't join, but they might not know about it. It might pass them by. So please shout about it to others. You're not competing just for tickets for yours, because you'll all have a slightly different audience out into the into the wider population. More and more people to know about it there. And then, just lastly, so the Good Cause launch today gives you then time to the 20th of February. You can register now, but tickets will go live on the 20th of February. Got a feeling that's a Tuesday, not definite, but normally it's a Tuesday. That'll go open to players. Then there's the first draw, will be the 6th of April. And the reason why we have this timeline is we want you to have time to go and register. Check with whoever you need to, you can go and register. Then when tickets go live, when people come onto the site, there's a number of causes there. There's something happening. It's more representative of what we're trying to achieve in the community locally. And then it gives you time to shout about it, market, promote, badger, nudge, whoever you want to get people in for that first draw. And that first draw will be on the 6th of April. And then it will be every week at 8 o'clock on a Saturday, and winners then will be communicated directly to them via email there. So that's sort of a whistle-stop tour of how it all works, and to launch the North Devon Community Lottery. It's lovely. I'm based in Bristol, and so I kind of have a bit of an eyes on, right, who's doing what in the community lotteries in the southwest. So it's great now to see more and more of the different areas and communities, and we want those joining up. So you've got, because there's no reason why there shouldn't be a community lottery in everywhere within Great Britain, and so this is great to see this launch. And the more people that join, the more causes, the more players that support it, the more money that we raise. So thanks very much, but open up to questions and queries people might have. So please just raise a hand and we'll go around if people have got any questions. Yes.
With all the people, are they really interested in like different sections, like the environment, the things, so people can find these, because obviously not everybody's heard of all the different organisations, or is it going to be like that?
So a few different ways. So when you come to when you come onto if someone comes to buy a ticket to play, if they just come without coming via any marketing materials, they'll just come to the homepage. Then when they click to play, it's then for them to choose a cause, and they've got a choice. The causes will always rotate. So if you are something athletics club of Barnstaple, I don't know, it's at the start of the alphabet, you're not always going to be at the start there, so it will rotate the causes. But also when you join and sign up, you can select is your cause involved with sports, with children, with disability, with with education. So you can also select the type of organisation that you are there, and people can search in that way as well. Yeah. I think it's, don't quote me on it, it's about 4 or 5 categories that you can choose. I mean, it's like the Charity Commission website. You've got multiple types you can select. Might be education, the sport, and disability. You can come across. So yeah, that's different way. But the easiest way is get your link or your Facebook or your bit of marketing out to as many places as possible, because then they'll land directly on your page. Yes.
Our group, we're sort of based in quite a deprived area,
Okay.
Ilfracombe. So I don't know. Practically, they wouldn't be sceptical, but I just don't think people have that sort of money to regularly commit in our area. We don't have a bank account either. We're directly supported by North Devon Council, namely the parks. Andrew Moulton. Do we need a bank account?
You do. You do, because we need to pay someone.
Yeah.
How that works locally in terms of discussions of how that might be facilitated. Yeah, because we do need to pay someone. Where that money goes.
I'm not going to help with that. Lloyds Bank is the only bank left in the world.
We know.
That does a community social account.
Oh, okay.
It can take a while to set up, and you have to have a constitution. But you can set up a society account.
We're not a society.
No.
This is the whole thing. Our volunteer group was very well, but one of the prerequisites of kicking it off was that we didn't want to be a traditional society. As many of you know, getting a treasurer, chairman.
You don't have to do that.
No.
No.
Should we take this off?
Yeah.
Should we come back to this one?
Yes.
Yeah. It's probably also seen sort of conversation around kind of vendor support.
Yeah.
But yeah, you would need to have a bank account. And I'll also just say that each payment comes with a reference. So if there is a facility that is structured properly to be able to, and it's happened in other areas where there is an organisation that is able to take a payment for a structured organisation that's someone else, you can then see what payments we make to who.
Yeah, there's an audit trail.
Correct.
Have people buy one ticket for 1 week and that's it?
No.
One of my questions.
So the minimum purchase is £5. And that is for 5 weekly tickets. And the reason for that is because your hard work promoting it means you'd be having to market it the whole time. And this is not what it's set up to do. It's set up to encourage people to take part and then stay, but they don't have to stay for any long period of time. It's up to them.
So can they dip in and out?
Can do. Yeah, they absolutely can do, yeah.
Thing, as a registered charity, I'm not sure on lottery and things like this. Would we have to inform the charity commission, or is there any?
You just put it through your income for charitable activity. Yeah. If you look at every single large charity, large and small, lotteries and lottery fundraising is very, very well embedded in fundraising channels.
Yes.
Hello, we've got 3 self-funding, or mostly self-funding memory cafes, which share a society account. But, on the accounting side, it's done under each of the 3. Would people be able to go onto our page and select which of the cafes they wanted to support?
You would need to, and this is then, you'd need to have separate.
We can do it 3 times.
Yeah,
That's fine.
as long as that meets the eligibility criteria set by the council for.
Or the other thing is the data, by the sounds of it, the name and address of the people you will know as an organisation, so you can split it to whichever group they belong to. Do you know, like you said?
It's the same organisation.
Yeah.
It's just the 3 separate cafes.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that everybody's name and address you will have.
Yeah, we won't have their bank details, will we?
No, so I think there's two things. So
It's separate things there.
yeah. So yes, you will have that. So in theory, you could pair up where their money would want to split there, but also, yeah, so that's
Fine,
way
thank
to do it
you.
around that.
Thank you.
The eligibility criteria as to who is not eligible.
Probably easier to come through who is eligible. I need to get on the internet.
We will presumably have exclusion.
Yes, so bear me just 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
I was just doing some figures. So we do this, I don't know if you know, but I started the charity over and above in North Devon and raised the money for the Seymour unit. And one thing we did, we signed up to a lottery because we're not a really big charity, and what this really does is takes all the administration rubbish away from you to get involved. All you have to do is get people to sign up, and you see some money coming into your account monthly. So I've just wrote some figures down here. If you get most people, so it costs us £4.34 a month. He's doing it on a 5-weekly basis, but I like talking in months. A month it costs us £4.34. That's what it is. So your direct debit will go out, but it's equivalent to £4.34. If people have 2 tickets, so one person has 2 tickets, it's £8.68. I don't mind sharing you with this knowledge, but that's what I have on my charity for that. So that's what I pay, £8.68 a month. If you sold 50 tickets, your cause will get 1,300 a year. That's 50 tickets, not 50 people. So, and you get 200, you sold 200 tickets, you sold 200 tickets, it brings in 5,200 a year, which is £434 into your account every month. People will go on there, but the thing is, you leave a leaflet out somewhere, you put a leaflet out and all that sort of thing. Surprising how many people pick it up, they'll do the QR code, because we do it as a charity already. And it's like looking at it and you think, gosh, but people do, they like a bit of a flutter. They like maybe having the chance to win something, but they like to know that it's going to a good cause. And what I like about this one was that it actually, the money's staying in North Devon. That bit of that 60p is staying in North Devon. The other 10p, which you were on about, of that 60p, that 10p will go towards our big community grants and stuff that we do already. So it'll go to the community. But that's some figures that I did quite roughly, because people are thinking, well, how many people are going to buy these tickets? And really, if you've got the mechanism just to give people who have got money will do it. People who haven't got money will still support you, because there's a cost of living crisis, like you just said. There are people out there, I know in Ilfracombe who have got money, but I know there's lots of people that haven't. But if people know that they're supporting a good cause, and they know that the money's going locally to that local, that Raffy down the road who's doing good, Age Concern or whoever, it's going. But it also gives community groups who are struggling. You know, that little bit of insurance now that you say, have you got public liability? You know, you might just say, well, if we sign 20 people up, not 20 people up, but we sold 20 tickets, that's 520 quid a year. It pays for your insurance and pays for a little bit else. That's how you got to look at it. That's how I look at it. So that's what, if you're thinking about it, the main thing is anybody who signs up, it's £1 a week, works out at £4.34 a month, and you'll get half of that into your charity without even doing anything. And then you will pay that monthly into your account. So that's how it works. But it's getting people to sign up. I know it's that, but I'm sure people will.
So just briefly, the sort of terms and conditions for good causes is you must operate in North Devon and be either a registered charity with a board of trustees, constituted group with a volunteer management committee with a minimum of 3 unrelated members that meet on a regular basis, at least 3 times a year, a registered community interest company or charitable incorporated organisation, and they should provide services or activity directly benefit people within North Devon, independently established for charitable, benevolent or philanthropic purposes, have a constitutional set of rules setting out aims and objectives, operate a bank account or build a society in its own name, requiring at least 2 unrelated signatories, and place no undue restrictions on membership. Applications won't be accepted for those organisations that don't provide services within the boundary of North Devon, have no established management committee, board of trustees, unless it's CIC or CIO. If you're profit making, if you're promoting a particular political or religious belief, only benefit an individual, or if you submit an incomplete application. That's all on the terms and conditions when you come up to apply. So I never remember all that. Thank you. But it kind of is pretty broad.
Is that the terms and conditions on the North Devon site or yours?
It's everything you need for the lottery. Go to northdevon.communitylottery.co.uk because everything should be there. Whether someone turns up today or finds out at a later date, that will all be there on the website.
Thanks. I've got 2 questions. First one is about when you have the winning numbers.
Yeah.
That last line, if you match 2, it's 2 at the start, 2 at the end. What about if you match 2 in the middle? Is that not a win?
No, it's not a win.
Okay.
No.
And then secondly, if the charity it does cover within North Devon, what about if it expands outside of Northern Devon?
So, and this again comes to, I mean, if you register and you're providing services within, then that's fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, just a question about accessibility.
Yeah.
You mentioned people could phone up.
Yeah.
They don't go online, which is fine. But if they don't have an email address,
Yeah.
how do they
We'll send a letter. How do they know?
that they've won?
We'll send a letter.
You will send.
Yeah, we'll get in contact with them. Yeah,
Because there are a lot of people
Yeah,
in
yeah,
North
yeah.
Devon without online access.
Yeah.
And without.
Yeah, so either they can access it through friends or family to support them to do so, or they can call us.
Do you have to have a North Devon postcode to participate?
No.
So it could go.
Yeah, and so if anyone has access, you know, it's a big tourist area. If there are rental properties, if there are visitor, then put something up in one of those. Yes, okay, someone who visiting the area has to then choose to play, but some people will have great connections to the area and want to support it. So no, yes, no, whichever way the question was asked. No, you don't have to. No, you don't have to be a resident or based within. You just need to be based within Great Britain.
In fact, let's bring some money to North Devon from
Yes.
On that question, if I could ask if any visitors from abroad, how does that work? Do you take international payments?
No, so you're not allowed to. So from a regulatory point of view,
Right.
you have to be based in the UK to play, or based in Great Britain to play.
Okay.
Yes.
The information you provide on the people that have bought a ticket
Yep.
to the good causes.
Yes.
What information is that? How much data is given?
So generally, first name, surname, email address. I need to double check that, but it's it's within a disclaimer, it's within a GDPR
Yeah.
consent that's all provided.
Is that information on the website?
Yeah, so
Okay.
when someone signs up, they say, yes, I consent to being contacted by the cause that I'm supporting. And then for you as the cause, on your dashboard, it will have a tab that's got your supporters, that's got the supporter details. If they don't consent, you won't be able to see their information.
they can choose whether their information is seen or not in the public.
Well, it's
By
not to the
us.
public, it's not, it
It's
doesn't,
never to the
it's never to the public, it's only to the cause, essentially, it's only to the cause that they're supporting.
Yeah.
And the operators, so to North Devon there, that's where it's, but that's again, all GDPR compliant and opt-in.
Thank you.
Yes,
Is this presentation going to be given to us to take back to our committees?
yes, so it will be, there will be a link to the video. And there'll also be a PDF version or an easily accessible version of the presentation as well. But also the important bit is, and most people don't need to come to one of these ideally, because the website does all of that for you. If you go onto the website and click top, so play is always the primary, because that's what we want people to do. Next to it at the top is, are you a good cause? If you click on that, that will then give you the outline of how it all works. But yes, this will be some maybe
Because we've
not.
got
but
to sell
that
it
will
to
be-
our committees, so.
Yeah. Any other questions? Yes.
If a trustee or a member of the committee pays for a ticket,
Yeah, they can. So license holders of the council can't, we can't. But yeah, you absolutely can. Quite often we find, because you challenge you to have a go at fiddling the numbers, because we can't, but we're a bit too close to it. So yeah, you can though. You can as trustees or those involved with the beneficiaries that are paying.
Lady at the back.
yes. So the company that operates the library is Gatherwell,
Gatherwell.
and then and it's done by North Devon Council. Just from a kind of ESG point of view, corporate responsibility, is there any transparency around where the money is kind of being got around and who they invest in bank with? This is some transparency around the company of Gatherwell.
We're part of a publicly listed company. So we are owned by a company called Jumbo Interactive, who are listed on the Australian Stock Exchange. They run lotteries sort of globally, but we and so yeah, so that sort of information is publicly available.
Check in those pockets, it's invested in things that we might want to be invested in, or is it all the money that's raised from this thing going directly into North Devon, or is there some money that's been taken away, invested into them?
No, so the way that the money is held, and that, so as an external lottery manager, as regulated by the Gambling Commission, we have to hold money for prizes and good causes in a client deposit account for security. So when people buy a ticket, being technical, when people buy a ticket, the money comes to us. We move the portion that goes to you and good causes into a client deposit account, and then that is then ring fenced away from any trading. The portion of kind of the administrator, the running, that's obviously a separate piece, but that doesn't go off to other professions there. From an ESG point of view, take a look on or go through Gatherwell, take a look on Jumbo Interactive, because that's all publicly available information there.
Following on from that, the percentage that the council gets, is that ring fenced?
The percentage from what the council get will go into the majority of good causes that aren't constituted, or we do council grants and things like that, and community grants. So that 10% will go towards that. So it's basically, like the operating costs is was what Gatherwell do in the prize winnings and all that sort of thing. So it's quite good. It's better than the lottery that we signed up for as a charity, because we get 50p and the other 50p goes totally to the external lottery manager, as they call them. So this one allows us to get 60p to good causes in North Devon rather than the 50p. So,
Does this replace the funding that we've got for charitable causes already, grants?
No.
So it's in addition.
This is all in addition and all new. And it's just a way, when we got it sent to us, it was a way that a lot of smaller groups could not offer a prize of £25,000 every week by doing a lottery. We're not a big hospice where they sell thousands of tickets every week. It could be small community groups, PTA organisations, Rotary clubs, anything, what they want to raise money for. It just allows that smaller charity, if you like, or constituted committee, or to raise money on something that they might do. So a lot of it is, like I said before, have you got public liability insurance? Oh, we can't do that because we can't afford it. But this is the way, is once you've got somebody signed up, they forget about it normally, and then you can just rely on that money coming in every month to help pay for, room hire. Could be room hire, it's 20 quid a week or whatever you might need, and you get your members to sign up to it. They've got a chance of it. People sometimes like doing something if they think they've got a chance of winning something back. And I know there's not everybody's like that, but it just gives people a choice whether they do or they don't. It's all about choice, really. Whether the person will have a choice whether they do or don't. It's just like when you buy a national lottery ticket.
Also, just to add to that, is when someone does buy a ticket, so it will stay on their bank account. I think it's North Devon lot or something like that. So actually, from people when they see you and you say sort of set it up and leave it, or at times in which people are going through their direct debit saying, hang on, which ones can I knock off? It actually will say, rather than saying Gatherwell, because no one knows what it is, there's no kind of emotional connection there whatsoever. It will say, North Devon Community Lodge. I think it's about 13 digits we can have on a banking bit. So then again, so it shows that connection between the purchase and where the money's going there.
I think there's some confusion about the 10% and the ring fence for the community pot, but it is a community pot, isn't it? It's not just going into the North Devon Council.
Oh yeah, no, we can't do that. We won't do that.
Ring fence for the community. To go back out to the
Yeah.
What if your charity closed?
Say again, sorry.
If your charity closed, has stopped collapses or disband?
Yep. So what will happen is you need to tell us that, and any of your players will then go to play sent to a central fund, so they won't be lost. They'll be communicated to, but if your organisation no longer exists, then we close the page down, but the players are transferred into sort of supporting the central fund, and then they can then choose anyone else.
They can choose.
Yeah.
Or pull out.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they can stop their lights, yeah.
We're not having it closing down. Come on, let's be positive.
So your minimum commitment, just to get it, stop any confusion. Your minimum commitment, if anybody signs up, is £5. They can sign up, pay £5, and then the day after pull out.
Yeah.
But they'll still get they'll get the tickets for the five weeks running. So the commitment is £5 and they can pull out any time you want.
Clarify. When you said that the tickets go live on the 20th, and first yours is 6th of April, so if they pay £5 and they want their 5 tickets, does that mean they've got, what happens in those weeks in between? Do they just buy those and it goes into the 6th of April?
Yeah, so if it give people basically time to sign up, and then those if they've chosen 5 weekly tickets, they'll then from the 6th of April be entered into 5 draws after that.
Right.
Yes.
It's a bit of an odd question, but you've sold it beautifully, made it really sound exciting and doable.
Yeah.
If you were giving advice now, what are the 3 worst bear traps we could fall into? What do we have to look out for?
Okay. I'm not going to tell you the 3 worst. I'm going to tell you the 3 best. So what you should do is once you go live, once you're live, is share it across. If you have Facebook, great. If you have a WhatsApp group, then just put the link in there. If you have an email distribution list, send a little bit of information about it and the link via email. What we find sometimes when we have kind of different activation rates is if people don't log in and don't share it, you won't sell tickets. So that's kind of sharing your page is the first thing. Secondly, if you can, every so often, thank the supporters that says, look, you've been playing, you've helped us raise 500 quid. This is what we did with it. Yeah, that's also a good thing. And I said 3 things. Why did I say 3 things? Well, I'm trying to keep it simple as to, and actually, third thing, read the emails that come through. Some of them you might think, I don't care about how many tickets it's the same as last week. But those tickets where we've got a super draw or an additional draw, it's a chance to read it, because it's a chance then for you to say, put it on your Facebook or put it out to say, thanks if you're already supporting. Don't forget there's an additional draw that you can also buy some extra tickets in for if you'd like. Or you can just say, thanks for supporting, there's an additional draw. So share it, read your emails, And what was the second one? I can't remember what the second one was.
Tell your friends and family who don't live in North Devon to buy a
thank
ticket.
people. Yeah.
Do you get notified when people are winners as well? So if your supporter's a winner, you get told that.
£2,000 upwards. No, sorry, no, actually, yeah, you do. You get told. You get told. I don't. Yeah, £25 upwards.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And also on your dashboard when you log in, like where it's got supporters, it's got marketing, supporters. It's got a winners tab as well, so you can also see where that's come from, and you can download that data as well. So when you need to put it in your accounts and things like that, all of that data is in there for you.
Okay, sorry, can I just the thingy that people click on with the
QR code.
Yeah. Can we put that on literature?
Yeah. So you'll have on your dashboard. You'll have, because each in that QR code on there will just take people to the general website. The QR code built on your dashboard will be your own personal QR code.
Okay.
So again, it's based on your website URL.
Yeah, thank you.
And I would suggest you perhaps have a banner at the bottom of your emails or something like that. So
Yeah.
we've got a different marketing at MBS, where we've got different things, and it's people can see it and do that.
Well, we're just redoing our leaflet.
Yeah. I was going to say, we'll just take one more because there are questions. The officers are going to be around at the end for 20 minutes to take questions.
Yeah, there's one at the back there. Yes.
We'll have access to their emails, we can send direct to them from that dashboard, or is it a case of?
You can't, it hasn't got email functionality in the dashboard,
It hasn't.
but you can just download it and it gives you a CSV file that you can just copy and paste.
This lady is.
Yes.
Just very quickly,
Yes.
I thought it may be just something that's, the elephant in the room, really, and I'd like to air it. Is there anything on the website to do with well-being and gambling?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
And are people get supported with well-being with regards to the effects of gambling?
Yeah, so as part of the license, so it's this licensed lottery on the website. So North Devon Council are also a member of the Lotteries Council. As part of that, there is a donation to Gamble Aware for research, education, and training. And there's also the various links on the website, as well as then a self-exclusion process and policy. So if someone says, look, I don't want to be a part of this, can you remove me? Then we do that, and it then removes their access and things like that.
That's a condition we have to abide by for part of the life.
And the whole point of these is it's raising money for good causes. We don't want to engage that type of person. It's not high stakes, high win, casino play. It's all about small amount of money regularly going back to good causes.
That sounds.
But yeah, I'll be around for a little bit afterwards, but thank you ever so much, everyone.
Well, thank you very much for coming all the way from Australia. Really interesting, but I'm just going to ask Marie Gold, who's the Chief Officer from North Devon Voluntary Service, to say a few words. And it's not Dame Marie, it's Marie.
Oh, yes, it is. And you'll be pleased, so even short, just a few words to keep you. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Bev and the team. When Bev still first contacted NWS and said we need a bit of support, I think, oh no, what do they want us to do? But they're such great supporters of us that we said, yeah, and it's been a pleasure from that first phone call to see all, we pushed for it face to face because online and all of that. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your presence. If those of you that came to our annual community awards, you'll know that I say this a lot. The amazing thing about my job in a world that is engulfed by doom and gloom everywhere you go is you lot. It's the difference you lot make. You make such a flipping impact. And I have spent weeks since the annual community awards behind a screen, begging for money, telling you, what was it you said, the inside lead measurement? You feel like you're telling the world and your wife what you've had for dinner and your stomach contents. And it's like, it's really frustrating because we do so much good, but we have to keep proving it. So, funding is tight, volunteering, got a bit of a plug, we've got a revitalising volunteering event. And we are, that's partnered through the Shared Prosperity, try saying that, fund with North Devon Council. So Sammy, our wonderful volunteer connector, supported by Louise, our partnerships offer. So when you find a way of promoting your good cause, because that's what you're going to do with this as well, and bringing money into North Devon and making a difference, which is fairly simple. You know, I earnestly suggest you give it a go, and you know, I hope the best, and I hope you're winners personally, and it's a good cause. And if you, Louise is going to stop me if I'm wrong, we've got a partnership offer, a free partnership offer. So whether you are a good cause, and we check, there's a simple form, and then you get all your information on a link on our website, and then North Devon Council will automatically recognise you as a good cause. We are here as a council for voluntary services to enable those that do good to flourish. And I think this is a very good way of making a difference for you guys. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. So the main thing is register for the website, get on there, even if it's the bare minimum you want to do. Because people, when they direct you to the website, will have a choice of which cause that they support. And you might even get supporters who they don't want you to contact them, but they just like the sound of what the work that you do, and they'll sign up. But the main thing is that you make North Devon, community groups make North Devon. We're here to support people who are less fortunate than us, or just need a different environment to prosper in. And that's what I think is really good about North Devon. Without you as a voluntary service, like Marie was saying, doing what you do, then North Devon wouldn't be what it is. But the good thing about this, and why I was quite keen that we did this, is that the money raised will stay locally in North Devon. And if people like, because obviously I've only been here 35 years and never lost my Yorkshire accent, but you know, blame the Royal Air Force for that. But the thing is that I've got family in Sheffield and different parts of Yorkshire, and you know, and they sign up. So what I'm trying to say is, if you've got friends and family who aren't from here, but they live in the United Kingdom, they are eligible to sign up. And you can say, look, here, you know, to your brother who might have a few bob or two, just sign up to that, you might win 25 grand. You know, they don't have to live here, they can live anywhere in the country, just sign up online, and hopefully it'll benefit you and your groups on your running costs, or those that you want to help. But really, thank you for coming. Officers are here to take questions. If you've got any burning questions that you've got, but also, like Marie said, you can contact Marie and DVS if you've got any follow-up questions from your committees afterwards, or contact the council member services. But thank you all for coming, and I really appreciate you all turning up. Please don't go via Cedars, but but seriously, thank you for turning up, and there's still some biscuits left at the back. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, Stephen.